Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all safe and healthy. So today I'm back at the One of One showroom to take a look at the world's best car, or the 2022 Rolls-Royce Phantom. And in this video I'll let you know everything about the Phantom, from the exterior design to the interior design and some of its features as well. And at the end of the video I'll let you know my thoughts regarding the Phantom. So do stay tuned till the end. And before we go ahead and take a look at the car, I just wanted to give a big thanks to One of One for allowing me to come here and make the video with the Phantom. So to show my appreciation to One of One, I want you guys, the viewers, to go ahead and follow them on their Instagram page. The link will be in the description below. So do follow them and let them know in their latest post that you came there after watching my videos. And for those watching this video in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, I'll also be leaving the location link down below in the description so that you can come here to the showroom and take a look at their collection, because they do have a really nice premium collection, as you can see behind me from over here. So do come here and check them out. And if you're new to the channel, guys, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on your notifications so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. And now let's take a look at the car. Alright guys, so here it is, the Rolls-Royce Phantom, and the first thing that comes in mind after taking a look at it is how massive this thing is, because it is a pretty long vehicle and at the same time it is a pretty big vehicle in terms of the height as well. I think you can just take a look, that corner of the Rolls-Royce Phantom is almost as high as the bonnet line of the GLE, so that gives you an idea of how big this thing is. And then you take a look at the face. It is a pretty imposing face, and as the name suggests, Phantom, it will definitely give you a bit of a chill when you see it coming down in your rear view mirror. And this particular model, by the way, is a 2021 model, and for the 22 model year, Rolls-Royce haven't changed anything. They have just added one small thing, and it's called the privacy suite. So what that does is that between the front two seats and the rear seats, you get a partition with a electrochromatic glass. What that glass does is basically it can turn to opaque from transparent at a touch of a button. So if you want full privacy around you, you can do that. You also get an intercom to communicate with the driver in the front once you have the glass up, because the glass is meant to totally isolate you from everything around you. So that's the only change for the 22 model year. And let's talk about the trims you get with the Phantom. You only have two trims, the standard wheelbase, and you have the extended wheelbase as well. So extended wheelbase adds a lot more legroom at the rear. This particular model is the standard wheelbase, and later on we'll take a look at how much space we have at the rear seats. So now let's talk about the front design, and you can see you have that familiar Rolls-Royce grille, which obviously is upright. Then you have the headlights, which are full LED, by the way. Then in the grille itself you can see the front camera, and this is for your night vision, by the way. And these grille slats are metallic. I hope you can hear the sound. So they are metallic, unlike most of the cars which are chrome plated plastics. So you get real metal over here. Then down below you have some parking sensors, you have some vents all around for airflow, and then you have your radar sensors hidden right over here, which I think is a really nice or very neat design feature that they have added just to hide the radar sensors. And you have chrome all around. Now if you want to black this part out, you can do it, and Rolls-Royce will also black this part out for you. But I think the chrome does look a lot better on the Phantom instead of blacking it out. The black surrounds look better, I think, on the Ghost, especially on the black badge. The chrome suits the Phantom a lot better. So that was the front. And as you can see, something is missing over here, and to bring that out, you can use your key. So this is the key fob. It is currently in the plastic, and the back of the key fob is in actually the color matched leather that you see over here on the dashboard. So whatever leather color you have in that, you'll get it on the back of the key as well. So to unlock the car, you have to press this arrow button over here, and then something is revealed. So that's your Spirit of Ecstasy. And currently Rolls-Royce have redesigned the Spirit of Ecstasy. So this is the older version, and the new version is a bit different, and it looks like this. And this particular Spirit of Ecstasy is in chrome. You can get it in gold or carbon fiber as well. Then this is how the headlights look when they're turned on with their indicators. You can take a look at the LED DRL, which goes around the headlight over here, and this is the inside of the headlights, which look like this. You have a Rolls-Royce RR logo inside. Then you come to the hood, and it is a pretty long hood, and you have the stainless steel which goes all around the window line up top to the windshield and comes back around over here to join the grille. And this particular Rolls-Royce, you can see, is in the two-tone paint job. You can get a single tone or like this two-tone. This paint is called the Iguazu Blue. That's what I saw from the Rolls-Royce website. So it is a pretty metallic paint, and it has a lot of flakes, but currently the camera for some reason is not focusing. Not my favorite color, to be honest. I would go for something a bit darker. And by the way, this being a Rolls-Royce, you have a lot of options in terms of paints, different combinations with your hood as well. Since in this two-tone paint, you can see this hood is in silver, but if you want, you can get it in any painted color, or you can just have it in brushed aluminum or satin paint as well. So you have an endless number of options, and if you want, you can truly make it one of one. Sorry for the joke, but it is a reality. You can truly make the Phantom one of one if you go crazy with the options. So that is pretty nice. Then let's move on to the side now. To show you the side, I'll have to go through the wide angle lens, and then you can see how massive this thing is. And by the way, this thing is the standard wheelbase model. You also get the extended wheelbase like I told you, so that will be even longer than this thing. And let's go through some of the features around the side of the car. And one thing I wanted to show you is the coach line. So this particular model has this double coach line, which I'll just show it to you closely. Double coach line means you have one on the top part of the hood, which is painted, and you have one on the bottom of the two-tone side. So this one has the navy blue on the silver, and with the silver on the blue color. By the way, this particular coach line is not painted. This is a vinyl material. If you want, you can get it painted as well. It will be hand painted obviously, and it will cost extra, but I think the person buying a Rolls-Royce Phantom won't mind that. Then on the side fender, you can see we have the Rolls-Royce logo right here with your indicators. And now let's take a look at the wheels. So these are the 22-inch wheels, which are an optional extra. As standard, it comes on 21s, but I think these 22s fill the arch really nicely. And obviously you have the RR logo in the middle, or the Rolls-Royce logo. It is a weighted logo. That means it has ball bearings inside, so no matter how fast you drive, the logo will stay upright. So that is a pretty nice touch, and I think most of the luxury cars should do this. It just gives it a more classy vibe. This particular car has this middle part in chrome. If you want, you can get it matched to your body color as well, and you can also get painted brake calipers, but this one has it in black. So let's talk about the size of this wheel. So the front tires are 255 section in width, and you have a 45 series sidewall and the 22-inch rim. So that's the front wheel. Then moving on along the side, you can see the coach line goes all the way across on the side, and these are your side view mirrors, so decent size. And you can see the blind spot camera right here, which will also help in the 360-degree camera view. Then moving on, you can see the window line is in chrome. If you want, you can black out the inner part of it. This will stay in chrome even if you black out this part. And Rolls-Royce say that this particular window line, which starts from here, it goes all the way across the window and comes down to here, is one of the largest pieces of stainless steel fitted to a car. So pretty impressive. Then you have your chrome door handles, and obviously being a Rolls-Royce, you have your suicide doors. While the driver's door opens in a traditional way, the rear passenger doors opens the opposite way, so that's easier for entry and exit. Then they have mentioned the fuel efficiency as well. So you can see it's a 2021 model. You have your engine size. It's a rear wheel drive car, and it is pretty bad. It's actually very poor. So 8 kilometers per liter. It is pretty bad. Then moving on, we come to the rear tire, and again same size, 22-inch, but the rear tire is wider than the front. You have a 285 section tire with a 40 series sidewall, and again the 22-inch rim, and you have your black color brake calipers at the back. Now let's move on to the rear, and the rear of the Phantom is really simple. You don't have much going on in terms of design. You have the recognizable tail lights, and the indicators look like this. And when the indicators light up, I hope you can just see the RR logo which lights up, or the Rolls-Royce logo. For some reason it's not showing up. There you see, it just comes up a bit. So a nice attention to detail. Then at the rear, the silver coach line which started at the front ends over here, but the blue color one, which was on the upper part of the paint, comes all the way to the bottom over here. So again, pretty nice. Then there is no actual name of the Phantom over here. You have to know it just by looking at it. You only have the Rolls-Royce badge, again in that stainless steel, and you have a rear view camera, and again more stainless steel here. And down below the bumper, you have some parking sensors, and you have your chrome tipped exhaust. So these are chrome surrounds, by the way. The actual exhaust is inside, but no problem, because it's actually real instead of just fake exhaust. So that was the exterior design of the car. Now let's take a look at the boot space that you get. So to open the boot, you either can open it via the button in the interior, or you have a button over here or right below the Rolls-Royce logo, or you can just use your key fob by pressing this square button over here, or by actually holding it so it electrically opens the boot. So that size actually comes in handy because you get a lot of space in the boot of the Rolls-Royce Phantom, and it is actually, I think, 550 liters of space or 19 cubic feet, which is pretty impressive. And currently they have stored the carpets in the inside so that when somebody sits inside they don't get dirty. But these carpets are so nice and soft, you can easily use one as a pillow as well. They are that soft. Even the boot lining carpet is really nice and soft, but other than that you don't have any other features. And this part is actually the access to the fuses. They have actually given it a leather strap, so pretty nice attention to detail again. And you do have this nice stainless steel boot lid protector. And one small detail I wanted to show you, the button to electrically close the tailgate has the logo or the outline of the Phantom itself, and you can almost see there is the small spirit of ecstasy at the front as well. So pretty nice attention to detail again. So let's close the boot lid, and now let's take a look at the engine bay. Okay, so here's the engine bay of the Rolls-Royce Phantom. It is a bit dusty. We are in Saudi Arabia, so you got to expect a bit of a dust inside. So let's talk about the engine now. As you can see, we have a 6.75 liter V12, and you have a V12 badge there as well. And I think for the 21 model year, they have changed the engine cover. I'll show you how the older engine cover looks, and this is the new one. So they have changed something, and you have your access to your washer fluid over there, and you have your engine oil cap right over here with the RR logo as well. And let's talk about the engine specs now. So like I told you, it's the 6.75 liter or 6.75 liter V12. It is a twin turbocharged engine, so it produces 570 horsepower and 900 newton meters of torque, which is around 664 pound-feet. So pretty nice and powerful. And it is attached to an 8-speed gearbox, and all the power goes to the rear wheels, so it is rear wheel drive. And altogether this package moves this Phantom, which weighs around 5,700 pounds or 2,600 kilos, from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds, which is pretty impressive considering how big this thing is and how heavy it is. And I think the top speed is 250 kilometers per hour or 155 miles per hour. I think it is limited to that speed, and I think it's a good decision, because I think you don't need to go as fast as 250 kilometers per hour in a car like this. A car like this is meant to be driven in a relaxing manner, and you don't need to go chasing top speeds in this. So it is not built for that. You have your supercars and sports cars for that. This is meant to be driven in a relaxing manner. And you can just take a look at the sound insulation that Rolls-Royce have put in on the top of the hood, so that the vibrations and the sound of the engine doesn't come out. So overall, a pretty impressive engine. And now let's move on to the interior. Before we move on to the interior, I just want to say that if you guys are enjoying the video so far, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on your notifications so that you will be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. And now let's check out the interior. Okay, so to head to the interior, you just have to keep your key fob in the pocket, and you just hold behind and it unlocks the car. And you have to open it manually, by the way, because you can close it automatically over here by just touching that button, and you can see the door closes automatically. And you can also see some of the puddle lighting down below over here. So it only closes automatically. I hope Rolls-Royce had put in the feature of opening the door automatically as well. Okay, so here's the door trim, and up top you can see we have stainless steel over here, which is pretty shiny. And this particular car has the two-tone paint option, so it has a white leather with the navy blue leather as well. So this top part of the door trim is in navy blue, and it is nice and soft as expected from a Rolls-Royce. Then this whole part is covered in leather as well. If you want, you can get a wood finish in this part of the door trim, like this part over here and this part over here. I don't think you should do that, because it breaks up the design a bit, and it introduces some more design elements in the interior. It will definitely look better. You have the white leather all around, which is nice and soft. And going down below, you have these 3 stainless steel lines. I think it's just there as a design feature. Then you have more white leather here. You have your door handles, which are nice and high quality. This one has the standard audio system, but if you want, you can get a Rolls-Royce bespoke audio as well. I think that's a good option for someone who is an audiophile and likes listening to music a lot. So you have that option. Then you have more navy blue leather over here on the armrest, nice and soft. You have your window controls, then joystick to adjust your side mirror, and your button to open the tailgate. But this is all in piano black, which can catch fingerprints. But I think the person who will own a car like a Rolls-Royce Phantom will have someone constantly cleaning it for them, so it won't matter to them. Then you have your memory seating controls right over here with your heated seats function as well. Then you have more navy blue leather with a tiny amount of storage in your door pockets. Then again, you don't have anything written on the sill plates. I think it's an optional extra, you can get it though. And these are how the seats look. So you have your Rolls-Royce logo embossed in there or stitched in the middle. Then you have your piping in the navy blue as well. This interior part is in black, but the piping is in navy blue. Then this is how the whole seat looks still here. And then you have your seat controls with your lumbar adjustment, thigh adjustment, backrest adjustment and everything. So pretty nice. And down below over here you have your parking brake, and those are your pedals for your brake and accelerator. And now I think we should take a seat inside. So I'm in the interior of the Rolls-Royce Phantom, and to close the door you have a button right over here, and you can just press it and hold it and the door closes for you. So that's how you close the door from inside. And the other button is for your passenger side. And let's start up the car. So you have your start stop button here along with all your light controls as well, and that is for your active safety systems, and this is for your night mode as well, or night vision. So let's start the car now. You put your foot on the brake and start up. So the car does start up, and as you saw, the screen was folded inside, but it comes out when you start the car. Okay, so now that the car is started and everything, the first thing I want to talk about is how comfortable these seats are. I don't think I've sat in any seat that are as comfortable as this. I have a good amount of headroom as well, as you can see, even despite wearing this cap, and this cap is pretty high from where my head is, so you have a lot of headroom. These seats are really nice and comfortable. I don't think I can stop talking about these seats. They are really comfortable. I think the person driving this car will be pretty lucky. Then the all-round visibility around the Phantom is really nice as well. You don't have a lot of blind spots wherever I'm looking, so you can place the car easily and you can drive it easily as well. So pretty nice. And yeah, that's the space. And now let's talk about the dashboard. So all the systems are turned on, and like I told you, for the 22 model year there is no change in the interior as well. The only thing I told you is the privacy suite. This particular car does not have it because it is an optional extra, and this is also a 2021 car that's available on the 22 model years. And let's talk about the dashboard quality, which I think I shouldn't even talk about because it is going to be really nice, but we'll do it for the sake of the review. And as expected, it is really nice and soft. The navy blue leather at the top over here, you have your white leather at the bottom. You can get it in any combination as you want. And then you also have your heads up display. I'll just try to show it to you, and that's your heads up display. I think it comes as standard. Then we come to the gallery. So this is something that Rolls-Royce introduced in the new Phantom. So you have this whole part over here, and when the screen goes down, you do have the same pattern continuing over here as well behind the screen. The idea behind this is that Rolls-Royce wanted to give their customers an option of putting some kind of artwork behind this glass piece. So basically, if you're buying the Phantom, you can choose from several different designs that Rolls-Royce themselves have, or you can tell Rolls-Royce to commission an artist to design an artwork that will be specifically for this part of the car. And all of this is behind the glass. You can't touch the infotainment display, it is behind the glass screen as well. Even this clock is behind the glass, and this clock is again an optional extra, and you have 3 different styles of it as well. So it is up to you if you want something that Rolls-Royce have curated on their own, or if you want something truly one of one, you can commission an artist and they can create an artwork for you. So that's the idea behind that. Then let's talk about some of the features around the car itself. So that's your driver's display, and basically Rolls-Royce have made it digital. So you have your speedometer, you have your power reserve, you have your fuel gauge and engine temperature as well. You don't get any other functions in them, unlike something like a Bentley, which has that Audi's virtual cockpit and you can display your navigation and stuff. You don't have that over here. The only thing that is displayed is the stuff in front of you. So most people might get confused by what is the power reserve. So power reserve is basically like currently the engine is sitting at idle, so it has 100% of the power in its reserve that is to be used. And when for example you're using 50% of the power while going down the highway or something, this needle will hover around between 40 and 60, so you're using 50% of the power and 50% is in reserve. And then when you're fully accelerating hard and the car is using all of its horsepower, the needle will be in 0, so like you're using all of the horsepower and nothing is left in reserve. So that's basically what the power reserve gauge is for. And again, like I told you, you have your fuel gauge and engine temperature, so nothing else. Then let's talk about the steering wheel. So behind the steering wheel you have your indicator controls, you have your gear selector and windshield wipers as well. And this is how you control your electric steering wheel. And these 4 things, like the indicator stroke, the electric joystick, the steering wheel joystick and the gear selector and your windshield wiper stock. I think these are the only bits of thing in this Rolls-Royce which is a bit cheap, the plastic on it. But other than that, the overall quality of the cabin is really nice. The steering wheel has a really thin rim, so you can easily drive it with 2 fingers like this. And you do have some controls around the steering wheel. So you have your cruise control settings here, and you have your to adjust the distance. Then this is all your media controls right over here for your phone. This button acts like the home button for the infotainment display. Then you have your volume controls and you have your voice assistant as well. So that's all the controls on the steering wheel. Let's move on to the center console. So coming to the center console, you have your display in the gallery. It is using a BMW iDrive system because the Rolls-Royce Phantom is essentially based on the 7 Series platform. So that's why it uses its software from BMW. But Rolls-Royce have given it their own skin. So you have your navigation, and to control it, obviously you can't control it via touch because it is behind the glass in the gallery. And to control the display, you have to use the dial over here. So you have your navigation, then you have your vehicle, and as you can see, the vehicle is a Phantom. Then you have your applications, notifications, communication, media, and back to navigation. And this is how your map looks. And let's go back home. You can just use this back button over here on this. Then you have your vehicle information. In that you have your vehicle settings like lights, doors, and displays. And if you want, you can control your spirit of XTC from here as well. You can raise and lower it. So I'll just show it to you. You press this lower over here, and that goes in. Then you can press lower, raise, and it comes out. And it is set to automatic, so that means when you unlock and lock the car, the spirit of XTC comes out and goes inside as well. So that's all in the central display. I don't think you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I'm not sure. I don't think so you have it though. Then you have your volume controls right here, which is again wrapped in leather. I'll just show it to you clearly from this angle over here. So pretty nice. Then the AC vents are seriously really cool. They are metallic. Then you have your organ stops, you have your hazard button. This is, I think, to lock the doors. And then you have your touch sensitive media control. So as I move my finger around, you can see it registers the touch over there. Then you have an eject button for your CD player and more media controls. Then we come down below and you have your climate controls. So this part, as you can see, controls the fan speed, and it is again wrapped in leather. But you have like soft, medium, high, and max. So you have all those settings over there. Then you have your controls for your seat heating and seat ventilation as well. Then you have your heated steering wheel and the same ventilation and heating for your passenger as well. Then the temperature dials are a bit confusing to me. You have to move it this way to control the temperature, so it's based on how you feel. And then you have some more climate control buttons over here, and then you have some more piano black with the chrome. But if you press that, you have a hidden storage compartment where you can keep your phone if you want, and it is lined with felt, so anything you put inside won't scratch or rattle around. Then down below, this is for your cigarette lighter and ashtray. Rolls-Royce do know their customers very well. Then you have some more piano black with your metallic inserts, and you can just push it back to reveal your cup holders. They are a pretty decent size, and you have your Rolls-Royce logo in them. And to close it, you can just push this and it closes back up. Then this part is actually where the iDrive controller sits. When you want to use it, you can just keep it like this, and when you're done using it, you can just pop it back inside. But there are some other buttons as well. So you have your parking sensors and camera over here. So I'll just show you how the camera system looks. So that's how your camera system looks, and currently behind me is an older generation Rolls-Royce Ghost. And then you have your 360-degree camera. Currently the Phantom in the screen is not color matched to the car that I have over here. If you want, you can get it color matched as well, but this is how the exterior or 360-degree camera looks. You can just take a look all around the car, and I think this is one of the best 360-degree cameras in the business, and it looks really nice and high quality. Then you have your button to lower or increase the height of the air suspension, and then you have another button for taking a look at your rear camera. So that's out of the way, and now let's take a look at the armrest. So the central armrest is really nice and soft in this navy blue leather, and you can obviously open it. You do have a decent amount of storage, and it is lined with leather, it looks like. And you do have a small USB port inside, and that's it. So now let's take a look at the glove box, and I hope most of you might know this. The Rolls-Royce Phantom has two glove boxes. One is the traditional glove box like this, and it is lined with felt, and it does not have a lot of space, it looks like. Currently the fire extinguisher is kept inside and it is lined with felt, so anything you put inside won't scratch around. Then the other glove box is hidden. You have your button over here, you press that and it will open up. So that's your second glove box, and you have a lot more space with the USB port inside, so you can keep some small stuff hidden inside. And that's all over there. Then here you have your rear view mirror, which gives you a nice visibility outside, and I like the fact that it is a frameless mirror design. Then up top you have your light controls, so you press this and then you have your lights. Then these buttons here are to control the stars, and by the stars I mean you have the shooting star roof liner, so you have all these individual LEDs in the roof line which light up. And basically if you want, Rolls-Royce will do any constellation that you want on the headliner. So if you want, you can tell Rolls-Royce you want the constellation that was there on the day you were born, so Rolls-Royce will find out about it and do that for you. So pretty impressive. And if you want to turn them off, you can just press this button and that turns off. Then you can turn them back on. Then this particular button is to control the brightness of those stars. Then you have your sun visors with the vanity mirror, which is a pretty decent size, and you have a light up top, and you also have a small microphone up over here as well. So I think that's all, and now let's move on to the rear seats and take a look over there. So to get into the rear seats, you have your door handle here, and the door opens on the opposite side. And let's talk about the door trim. It is obviously similar to the one in the front. So you have nice soft touch leather up top with your stainless steel right over here. Then you have the white leather over here, which covers everything till the bottom. And then you have some more navy blue inserts for the armrest, and you have an ashtray hidden inside. You have your controls for your climate control with your seat heating and ventilating as well with the window controls. Then you do have your massaging seats, and you have your memory seating as well. Then you have a decent size of door storage, which was not on the front section, but you do have more storage in the back over here. And that's all on the doors. Now let's take a seat inside and I'll show you everything over there. Okay, so I'm in the rear seats of the Phantom, and I have to say these seats are really nice and comfortable, and I don't think anybody will complain in them. One thing though, as you can see, my cap is touching the roof line, but without the cap I did check and I have a good amount of headroom. I am 6'4" or 195 centimeters, so that's your reference over there. If you're someone shorter than 6 feet, I don't think you'll have a problem in the Phantom. But if you're someone on the taller side, I think you should take a look at the longer wheelbase version of the Phantom, because in this short wheelbase version I'm having one problem, and I'll just show it to you. And you can see the knee room is okay, but I do not have a lot of knee room as I expected to have in a Phantom. One problem that I will have with the small amount of knee room is that when I go to open the tables, which have the button over here, you can see they'll take up most of the space, so I'll have to sit like this, which is not an ideal position. So tall people like me will definitely need the longer wheelbase version of the Phantom, so that they have a lot more knee room and they avoid awkward situations like these. But other than that, the comfort levels around the Phantom is really nice. And let me just show you some of the features around. So currently, as you can see, the door is open, and to close it, you have your button to close the door over here. You have to hold it and the door will close automatically for you. So there we go. After the door is closed, I forgot to talk about this when I was in the front as well. Sound insulation inside is really nice. You don't hear anything outside. There were some people talking outside and I couldn't hear them at all. So that is pretty impressive. So some of the features around the cabin, I'll just show it to you. So you have the vanity mirrors right here. Currently they're covered with the plastic, but you have a pretty nice size of a vanity mirror with the lights over here, and you have it for both of the passengers. Then you have your light controls up top, which is a nice LED and soft lighting. And then you have the same buttons to control the star roof liner, and that's all in terms of the lighting. Then around the cabin you have some coat hooks over there. You have some more AC vents right over there. You have speaker grills right here, and I hope you can just see the ambient lighting show up a bit over here. You only have two colors, warm white or cool white. And then you have some volume buttons here, volume plus or minus, and you also have a mirror as well, so you can take a look at yourself. And it looks like you do have some reading lights as well. Then the seats themselves are really comfortable, The leather is really nice and soft. It's as expected from a Rolls-Royce. And the pillow up top over here is really nice and soft as well. This one has the bench seat option. If you want, you can get a separate 4-seater version as well. With the bench seating though, you do get the armrest, which you have to remove from over here. So let me just do that. And that's your armrest. Up over here you have your controls for your seat, with your memory seating it looks like, and your recline function as well. The armrest itself is really nice and soft. You have this button to open the storage space right over here. It is lined with leather, it looks like, but you don't have a USB port for charging. Then you have another button, and this shows you your iDrive controller. So this is to control the displays that you have inside over here. I'll just show them to you in a minute. And then you do have your cup holders hidden over here, which have the Rolls-Royce RR in them, and they look pretty nice and high quality. Then you do have your AC vents along with your organ stops, and down below you have a CD player along with your audio jack. Interestingly, I see no USB ports around here. I don't know why Rolls-Royce haven't put them, but I couldn't find one. Then let's talk about the displays that I told you about. So to open the display up, you can just press the left side button over here on the iDrive controller, and you can see it reveals itself outside. So this is your 12-inch display, and you have all the same functions as in the infotainment display. So you have your vehicle, applications, media, navigation, and all that stuff. So if you want, you can input a destination from over here, and the driver will receive it in the front infotainment screen so that he can take a look at where you want to go. And the table quality is nice and sturdy. It is piano black, but it is nice and sturdy, so you can keep a laptop on it and work as well. And I think that's all there is to show in the Rolls-Royce Phantom. So that was the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it a lot. And what do I think about the Phantom? Personally, out of all of the cars that Rolls-Royce make, the new Ghost is my favorite, but the Phantom is really nice. And for tall people like me, I think you should consider getting the extended wheelbase option. The standard wheelbase does have slightly less knee room, but other than that, everything else is really nice. The comfort levels, the interior quality levels, the attention to details, every single thing is really nice on the Rolls-Royce Phantom, and that's to be expected from Rolls-Royce. And unfortunately, I couldn't drive the car because this is a customer car and not a media vehicle that I can drive around. But from what I have read, the driving dynamics are really nice. It is one of the most comfortable cars to drive on the road, and you basically don't feel anything when you drive over bad roads. So that is a pretty nice thing. And also in terms of competitors, currently I don't think there are any competitors for the Phantom. This Maybach 57S was a competitor to the previous Phantom, I think so. But currently for this generation of the Phantom, there is no competitor. So you only have two choices, either the standard wheelbase and extended wheelbase. You don't have any of the manufacturers that you can take a look at. But I think if you want the ultimate luxury, I don't think there is any better car than the Rolls-Royce Phantom. So that's all I had to say. And if you enjoyed the video, guys, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on notifications so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. And thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and bye-bye.